I think many of us will have made a pop-up box in our time, but I just think this one is absolutely fabulous. Look at the little monsters. This is great. This is our Josh from the SVG file cutting team who's drawn all these monsters. So all you do is draw them onto coloured cardstock, scan it in, scan and cut it out. It's brilliant, isn't it? So there are about 4 or 5 different designs of pop-up box within that one folder, different shapes, etc. So just choose the one that you like. It's really simple to put together. This one actually has an aperture in the front as well, just to get, so normally you have them all popping out on acetate, don't you, whereas these are set in to it, which I thought was quite a nice point of difference to ones that we've done before. So I'll just move that over to one side. So you're going to fold all your score lines as valley folds. So this one is a valley, this one is a valley, and then your tab is a valley. That's coming from left to right. And then there is another one here. Now, because this is open here, just be careful when you're folding this down. If you're going to put acetate behind here, I would do that now. Okay, so it's all glued in, and that strengthens that, which is what I've done on this one. But for now, we'll just show you how to glue this together. So you then have 3 bands. Now, because I didn't want you to see the bands necessarily through the front, I've done them out of that acetate again, out of construction weight acetate, rather than having bands of coloured card. I thought it looked really, really good with the acetate because you don't really see it. So you're going to think about how you're going to build these up. So I've got the deepest one, and I'm going to put this at the back and towards the top. Says, do you know what? Like that. So you're just gonna, I like to put my tab, this part of my tab, against the card where I want it, and then fold the side up like that. Okay, and then the same on this side. So I'm putting the tab where I want it, and I am folding that up like that. Okay, so I've got my first one in place. Once you've got your first one in place, the others are easy because now that's stabilised that whole box. So now this side and this side. So I'm going to put this one, which is the next widest, and I'm going to slot that in there, and I'm going to bring it just in front of the other one. And because I haven't pressed it down, I can then just move that around. And then my last one is going to be my narrowest one. And I like this because it looks like the box is full of monsters and they're trying to break out. It just made me smile when I was making it. You could put googly eyes on them and all sorts. Just really go to town with these because they're just great fun. And then, oh, bear with. This one is going to go in at the bottom and further forward, and then all you do is create your monsters and you glue them onto the strips. So I just put a little bit of tape on the back of my monsters, slotted them in, stuck them to the strip. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, and then when you've done all that and your acetate is in place, you're just going to peel the backing off there, fold this over, and make sure that this bottom edge of that frame meets the front. And then you've got your pop-up box. And then to post it, it just all goes flat like that. But that is super, super, super simple, really effective, especially with the monsters. And then we've also given you a frame that you can put over the top of there just to finish it all off. But like I said, there's about 5 or 6, I think there's 5 actually different pop-up boxes on there. So these pieces are different. Some of them have panels down here, but you'll have mats and layers for all of them, which is great. But just, I mean, this for children, on a children's birthday, you imagine you've drawn loads of the monsters onto card. You then put them in a bowl in the middle of the dinner table. You give them each one of these and some tape. You've got the tape already back on the monsters, and they can make their own little monsters box to take home. I think it's just fabulous. And the other thing I did with this was, rather than colouring them in, as I said earlier, I drew them onto coloured cardstock. This is American Crafts, so I drew it on the smooth side of that, scanned it in and cut it out. And then just to create a point of difference, I just coloured the eyes in white, or I put little flecks with a white pen, and just filled that in so that certain parts of them stand out. Otherwise they look a little bit flat. But rather than colouring the whole thing, just adding a bit of white here and there makes a real difference. So yeah, I think that's just really cool, and I love the fact that it looks like they're all inside that box trying to get out.